Hey Starseeds, welcome to your timeless transmission. I'm gonna get into the reading for you. This is synchronized to whenever you're watching this, no matter when you're watching this. Nice. Nine of Pentacles. Definitely about this new generosity. I feel like the word that comes up is generosity. So this newfound generosity that you're embodying, for sure. And that goes in all sorts of ways, including not just financially, but also energetically, like your time and your energy, and just the way you perceive the dynamic of giving and taking. Giving and receiving, not taking. Giving and receiving. I guess the biggest difference between giving and receiving, receiving and taking, is taking just kind of sounds like you're claiming what's not yours, but receiving is inherently yours. They were very stern with using these color cards today, so whatever message comes up with these color cards, I'm going to get into that first, and I think I know what it is. There's definitely a sense with water, because two of these are like water cards, and one is about empathy and one is about peace and calm. So a lot of it, like a basic message from this is to watch the quality of the water that you intake. So whether that's like alkaline water or charging your water with frequency. So I don't know if you're familiar with the Dr. Emoto's work, but he actually studies like the actual microscopic structure of water molecules after you've charged it with certain words or certain images. It just works instantly. Water gets charged with intentions really easily. So a practice that's going to be really beneficial for creating whatever changes you want to create from this time on is going to be working with intention water. So you can do anything you feel like doing, whether that's through just sending it energy or visualizing color while holding the water, or just like sending energy with your hands, or you can charge it by sunlight. You can put it in a colored bottle, like preferably a glass bottle, and leave it outside for the sunlight to charge it so that the color frequencies will charge the water. You could do anything that you feel like doing. You could you could put it on a sigil, you could put it on light language, you could put it on English language, any language. You could charge it in any way you feel is relevant and easy for you to do. So if you don't want to worry about charging it with energy all the time that you would forget before drinking water, then a simple way to go about it is to use like an external charger, like a bottle. Maybe you could put certain sigils or images on the bottle so that it would just automatically charge it. Saying words to it. You could charge it with music. Like you can either charge your water with like subliminals that you usually use, or any sort of like music too, for sure. This is so intense, you have no idea. These cards I just got. I don't like when the Five of Swords shows up, but that I need to change my attitude about that. Not everything can always be nice. So here's your spread. Chariot, Knight of Cups, King of Pentacles, Emperor on the first row. So masculine and so stable, grounded, charging, structure, authority, empowerment. It's so intense. And then you've got the Knight of Pentacles, the Sun, the Five of Swords, which I'm going to clarify. What do you mean? And then the Page of Cups. Definitely a message here with definitely a message that's being offered to you, some sort of message. I get that this is your spirit guide. Could be otherwise. It will always manifest in the external environment as something else. But first, you always have that etheric manifestation first, and then it materializes in other realms. So there's this idea of you kind of not feeling the distance between what's happening on the internal realm and your kind of faith that it's that's actually the manifestation, because now you don't have this doubt about when something happens internally. You actually have figured out and like really logically accepted that that's actually going to manifest in the physical reality, so it's not something you have to worry about or doubt, which is great. And actually you have strengthened your faith with Lilac as one of your other cards. Oh, and I forgot to go through this. So the main color card that popped out was brown, establish boundaries. And this is something like very specific that I'm going to go into, and that has a lot to do with your water too. Oh, okay. Oh, I see why all these are here now. Okay, sorry. I'm not in the... Okay. I understand why all these are here. Okay, so... One way that you can work with like supercharging your water so that it's like gonna be the best supplement for your mind, body, and soul is to work with flower essences. So flower essences are like, you can search it up, and there's like all these different effects of certain flower essences, and they work wonders. Like, and it's actually makes sense why they would, because frequency makes resonance towards higher crystallized forms, and flowers are pretty much like enlightened forms of plants. It's like the part of plant kingdom that is more aligned with the sacred geometry. That's why they look like flowers, because it's very much in tune with the sacred geometry and how things should be. So when they make essences and extracts of these flowers, you know, it has tremendous benefits like aromatherapy, but when you actually get the flower essences, it's like something you can orally take, and you can put this in your water, and that's how you can simply charge your water. There's 2 water cards, and I'm going to explain what the other one is with the brown. But that's one way, and one essence that I would really recommend for people, for any starseed, there's actually a flower essence called Starflower, and it is really beneficial for starseeds to integrate their like really busy etheric realms with grounding it and coming back to the physical reality with that realm. And like if you had birth traumatized from being born into the 3rd dimension from higher dimensions, or just general trauma from being born, because that was really traumatizing, that helps with that, especially if you like if you're like a starseed and you had like experiences of spaceship crashing, or like however else was you came here, which was pretty traumatic. It will help you heal, and it'll help you heal from the sense of isolation you feel here as well. It'll help you feel like you belong here on Earth and things like that too. The next thing is brown. So this is about boundaries, but no, with coming up with all these waters, and the message that they're actually trying to give me is the supplement. I don't know if you've heard of fulvic acid, humic acid, and shilajit. So this is all like the same group of supplements. So what this is literally, so you know how you're supposed to eat all these vegetables, but the vegetables have a lot to do with the quality of the soil. So even if your vegetables are organic and not genetically modified, the soil that they grow in is very depleted. So it's not that healthy. It's not that nutritious or anything. And so there's this supplement called fulvic acid Just search fulvic acid, and then it will include humic acid. That is actually the trace minerals that would have been found in proper soil, like really good soil. So actually, if you have a lot of problems, like whether it's digestive or like skin problems or any sort of like health issues that you can really point a finger to, or like if you have like problems absorbing certain nutrients, if you add these to your water, these supplements, it will fix so many things. It's just like, it's going to just give you so much energy. Like, it's literally what humans are supposed to be consuming through the vegetables, but it's just not there because of our soil quality. It's going to, what it's essentially does is it's going to detox you on the next level. Like, it's going to take out all the toxins from your cells. It's going to kind of bind away the toxins from your cells, and then it's going to flush it out. So make sure you drink a lot of water with this. That's why there's 2 water cards, right? So make sure you drink a lot of water and do this. I would also recommend taking with this like some sort of green supplement. So whether that's spirulina, chlorella, or the stuff I take is like greens powder. Currently using is this greens powder, but any greens powder works. Definitely charge your water with these cool supplements, and also your intentions and visualizations obviously is going to make it supercharged. You can also charge your water with crystals. You can put any kind of crystal that you're working with, whether if it's clean, like you can put it in your water, like and charge the water that way, or you could just surround your bottle with crystals and it'll charge it. Cute mineral friends. So I guess it's all about minerals. But yeah, trace minerals. Very important. So yeah, what that essentially does too, with those fulvic acid and shilajit and stuff like that, it's all like along the same lines. What that's gonna do for you also is it's gonna help you with your third eye, like, and your pineal gland and stuff, because it will detoxify all of the chemtrails, like all the fluoride, including like all the heavy metals and like any drugs that you've ever done. Haha. Or like cigarettes or whatever bad habits you had, it's going to help you move on from those frequencies for sure. Okay, let's see what else. I don't know why, but I'm drawn to do the oracle cards today first. And damn, we have a good card. Okay, let's see what we have here. We have Gaian Awakening, which is preparing, relocation, and ascension. And I just want you to look at this card and kind of focus on it for a bit, because that light language right there is like really, really precious. The subconscious mind of yours will know exactly what this means, and it'll heal you a lot. Because it's like the starseed part of you will know. Interesting. It's because you got 2 isolation cards. Like 2 of the cards is signaling this sort of separation. You got isolation as well as exiled, which is like illusion of separation, disconnection, and isolation with Gaian Awakening. So I think that this clearly suggests that you're going through a massive, massive transformation right now, and isolation will serve you really well at this time. Just like not engaging too much with other people. Because, okay, so this illusion of separation, this exile card for me right now in this context signals that even though you isolate yourself and you spend time alone for this awakening part, you're always surrounded by your guides. And you're gonna quickly start to learn that you're never alone. I think you're about to find that out. But I think that the whole detox thing is really important right now. Detoxing using those like water methods And definitely, I think I get a message that for maybe like the next, I don't like to put a timeline, but I think to gauge it in like a linear manner, I think for the next 2-3 weeks, it'd be beneficial for you to be focused on yourself, and then you're gonna have plenty of time to reconnect with everybody else. But I think for the next 2-3 weeks, you're going to heal the vertical separation, which means like the sense of separation with your higher selves up till the highest self. As you heal that, after that, you're going to integrate it to your environment, and that's when you're going to have really meaningful external relationships with others, and you're going to have this newfound sense of relationships with people that's like very healing, very, very healing to the core, because you're actually finalizing the intimacy within yourself. That's it. And it's like this is actually a part that you're playing in the Gaian awakening, which is the ascension of the whole planet. So once you heal that final piece of puzzle within yourself and you connect with other people on a new profound level that you probably never felt on earth since birth, you're going to be feeling like that with your relationships with your people. That's actually like the next level of being for Gaia, like the planet. That's like the new web. You're the cusp of the new web of the grid that is like transforming, like embodying that new dimension of relationships with others, which is really cool. I get this. I get you. And then there's sacral portal here on the bottom of the deck. So I think that has a lot to do with the whole like intimacy with the whole sexual chakra, which is expressive. But I think that like your intimate life with a partner or partners is definitely going to be reflected in this. I think you're going to have like very healed relationships with romantic partners as well, which is really good. Because a lot of starseeds have trouble with that. Because I guess like a lot of the times you don't feel very, you might feel isolated from people, especially when you get that intimate with people, and you notice like how different you are, how different you feel from them. But then as you heal that self-connection and you heal the connection with outward people, that's going to change. You're not going to feel so alone anymore. You're not going to feel that separate, or you're not going to feel that different, or you're going to appreciate the differences instead of feel isolated by them. They're going to accept you just as you are. There's definitely some offer of love. So I was getting the sense that this Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups, this is like message and offer of love, and love in terms of could be from your higher selves, spiritually, and also this will obviously manifest in the external world. There's definitely like some sort of really unconditional love that's like really creeping into your life, and it's like really radiating in your life, because the Knight of Cups comes with the Sun. And this is like some ultimate unconditional love of this. Like this reminds me of like the central sun, not just our sun, but like the central sun. And so that's like just this emanation of like absolute infinite, like just eternal, unconditional love that's coming into your life. And it seems like this Chariot is this really strong movement, and so is this Knight of Pentacles is like really grounded and really practical and really solid movement. So this Knight of Pentacles is kind of like laying one brick at a time. There's this saying like, if you want to build the greatest wall in the world, you only just pay attention to laying the best brick or something like that, most carefully, one step at a time, and then at one point you just have like a massive wall. It's like one step at a time. That's the Knight of Pentacles, but then that's coupled with this Chariot. So it feels like you and the universe and the environment are all moving in synchronistic, like step by step towards something, and that leads to the Knight of Cups with the Sun. So it's like steps towards this unconditional love. It's like embodying more and more of this. And then there's the King of Pentacles, which is like the master of the material realm, and finding that true sense of wealth within yourself. No matter what people's definition of wealth is, you have your own sense of wealth. You're embodying this new sense of wealth. It's not really about just quantity. It's about quality and just the emotion you embody and your ability to change and adapt to things and be grounded in this wealth even in times of chaos and conflict. Even if there's times like this, you're always maintaining this stability and just that abundant prosperity just by remembering like who and what you are. And that makes you like a king. This is like all such like hefty, like grounded energy of just being sovereign. This sovereign energy. The Emperor is also coupled by this Page of Cups. So this to me is sort of like really funny because they're very different in energy. But so it's like very balanced between being this like stable sovereign being and this lightheartedness of the page and this playfulness. So I think that first of all, this is a message of you being able to balance these two energies out, but also the word I get is runner. It's almost like you impact like a chain of events. This is what I'm getting. You're the one who's sending this Page of Cups to other people and like this ripple towards others, this service towards others. And you're like sending this page with a gift to every single fractal of consciousness. That's kind of what I'm getting actually. This chain of effects and your gifts to the world in frequency and emotion. It's like it's emanating from you. Beauty. And of course, at the bottom of the deck is the Nine of Pentacles. So this is just very grounded, feminine energy of like appreciating luxury and just taking a moment to kind of be grateful for everything that you have. Count your blessings. 9 of them. For today, 9 of them. There's a lot of forces at work. Okay, there's a lot of forces at work. That's one other thing that I'm getting here. While you're very stable and grounded, there's a lot of forces. Like you're kind of really emanating this energy. Look at all these like movements. Chariot, Knight of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Page. It's like just very forward moving and all offering something to the world. I think you're really offering stuff to the world. Just service. And the most prominent one being your energetic frequency. Is a gift. Okay. Let me clear this. I like the way I sense it, like every time I'm doing a reading, I feel like I'm in such different energy that I wonder if you guys notice like the fluctuations of my energy and the states of consciousness that I ride through. But maybe it's like that for you too. Like it's probably synchronized to how you feel as well whenever you're watching this. It's like I feel like a part of the reading is like my state of being and my consciousness and my like frequency at the moment, my emotional frequency or whatever. And that's like part of your message and what's influencing the reading. So I can't really hate on the fact that sometimes I'm in like lower energy, sometimes I'm in a way higher energy. Like it's just part of the energetics. the counselor, the youth. Jeez, this couldn't be any more obvious. And the 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Earth. Yes. Polarity, polaric paradigm. So here's our polaric paradigm of this third dimension, the dualistic paradigm. Non-duality is really cool. Non-duality is really cool when it's coupled with duality. Okay, so let's see. The counselor is pretty much the counselor, like a leading figure, a beacon of light, of a star seed. This cosmic light and service to the youth. Of course, you are like, you have this youth energy with you, but I think that like one of your main roles is to be this counselor figure for the new wave of consciousness that's going to infiltrate the world in a good way. Like all of the new babies that are being born and stuff right now have like completely different like levels of consciousness compared to like the previous generations of humanity. I mean, like, you're one of the new energies because obviously there's a transition point and you're the transition point, and from now on, like, we're gonna be the new normal. But like, yeah, we're that transition point where you guide the new ones that are being born right now. So yeah, by the time they're grown up and they really need that guidance, like, you're gonna be there to kind of set it, and we're kind of setting the new society for them to live, and for us too, obviously. But I mean, like, part of that too is like, because you have this youth energy with you as well. And actually what's really great is that the third card is the 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Earth, which is like the most abundant card one of the most abundant cards in the whole deck. And the Knight of Pentacles came up too, but 10 is like communal riches. It's like a point, whereas like the 9 of Pentacles is like financial freedom for yourself, 10 of Pentacles is like where you can hold it down for everybody else, like, and share all of your wealth with like your community, your people. And so that's and look at this little baby dragon, and this little baby dragon for me is kind of like the Kundalini energy, and you having integrated this Kundalini energy, and so you're like grounded with all of this starseed energies that you have going on. And so this service to the youth as a counselor figure gives you this sovereign energy and also this worthiness. I don't want to say worthiness because everyone's worthy, but just inheritance. You inherit this divine wealth from your service, and this service that you have is going to show. Like, you know how sometimes they say your wealth is measured by how much service you give, and like the amount of wealth that you can accumulate is the amount of service. And I know that where you can go, iffy with this whole idea that you can attain a massive amount of wealth according to your service, and you might be thinking, how come there's a lot of negative forces that are so rich, like the cabal and things like that? But it's like, that's because your definition of service is very much limited to the third dimensional structure and your human ego. But when you think about it from a higher self perspective and a cosmic perspective, those negative forces are very useful and service to us, because without that we wouldn't have the polaric paradigm. Without that we wouldn't have a dualistic paradigm, and we'd kind of be like stagnant. Negative forces, negative charge is like literally provides us with energy and like this illusion of time and like a bunch of other things we wouldn't otherwise experience. So that is service on a higher level, even the negative ones. Yet otherwise, like for us to be able to experience anything would just take eons and just be stagnant. But now we have this catalyst. Yeah, it's definitely a catalyst. So that is service. So they do have that wealth, but positive service like is service too. So that's where you're doing. And this counseling doesn't necessarily have to come as like the traditional definition of counseling, but more like the way you embody your frequencies. That's counseling. Just counseling by example. That's one of, and however else it manifests into the world in a physical form, like whether you're, whatever your occupation is, that's the second thing. But first and foremost, you counsel them by example and just by setting up the new landscape in which these new starseeds are going to thrive. There's a union card. It's like a divine union, I guess, with your higher selves that I was mentioning earlier, how you're going to be vertically aligning to this unity and how that's going to manifest in the external world. That's also embodied by this union card. The last deck I'm using is the Rumi card. How long is this? 36 minutes. Whoa. One thing I forgot to mention with the one message that came up with the Gaian deck that I just like happened to forget to mention is this idea of like a critic, like you're learning to disseminate. I think that's an important message for some reason. This idea of judgment and dissipating this frequency of judgment, whether it's towards yourself or others. And a good way to work with that is not actually working yourself out of the mental realm of judgment, but just detaching yourself from that frequency of judgment as a whole. So when you have like judgmental thoughts and like a critic kind of body of thinking, instead of trying to figure out like, okay, how am I gonna think myself out of this, just like drop into that 0 point energy field of like awareness and just detach from your thoughts in general. So detach from your mental body in general. Just release it. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the cards and they're pretty simple, the message. First one is the dance of the divine feminine, which pretty much means there's something you need to just kind of let go. And I don't feel like you're holding on to anything really. That's not the vibe that I'm getting. But I think that this is like just a predestined movement of you letting go of something. So it's not something you have to consciously do, but it's kind of just falling away, right? And you're entering into this, enter the garden of delights, which means that you're actually like right now stepping into a new realm of things, a new realm of paradigm where you're going to be letting go of this thing, and also just you have to just continue to move. So it kind of feels like you've already entered this new realm, but right now maybe you're not really conscious of it. Like it hasn't sank in yet. Like your environment is brand new. Like you've entered into the new paradigm, but it takes you to get kind of adjusted to this new paradigm, like new environment. So you're already there, but just keep going. Like maybe you don't notice it right now, but you're already here. The one story that I'm reminded of is like there's this Velveteen Rabbit story, like for children, that like if you really love a toy or something, it can become real, like it can come alive. And there was this Velveteen Rabbit, and it was really loved, and it came alive. But for a while, the rabbit didn't know that it was alive. So even when it like turned into a real rabbit, it didn't move for a long time. That's kind of me right now. Like you came alive, but you're not moving right now because you're not used to it. But soon you're going to start moving and realize like you're on the next level. Does that make sense? Okay, that was awesome. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Let me know if it resonated with you. Thanks so much for tuning in. And I'm going to be recording the December readings. Wait, no, not December. I'm going to do, okay, so my plan is to do the January readings and then like a New Year reading. So with the 2018 readings, yeah. And I don't mean to put this in like a timeless reading. If you're watching this at a really later time, ignore what I just said. But whoever's watching this like now, like now, like December 10th. If you're watching this in December 2017, I'm going to be uploading the January one and then the New Year one very soon. Thanks, love you, bye.